Beginning this morning with the FBI investigation that was supposed to help clear up the fate of Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Instead, things seem to be getting more and more confusing by the day. I have a great team here to help break all of it down. But first, I want to bring you up to speed on what specifically is happening today. The U.S. Supreme Court kicks off its new term just one justice short. Judge Brett Kavanaugh, the president's pick to be the 9th justice, remains in a state of limbo as the FBI looks into allegations of sexual misconduct. The president told them to reopen their background check after it became clear Kavanaugh did not have the votes to get him confirmed. But 3 days in, it has been difficult to figure out exactly what's going on. So here's what we know. The only official description of how this investigation would be carried out came from the Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, who said it would be a 1 week-long investigation and limited solely to, quote, current credible allegations against the judge. But that's very vague. And all weekend, people have been trying to understand exactly what that means. NBC has confirmed that the White House has authorized the FBI to interview just 4 people. They include Mark Judge, who Dr. Christine Blasey Ford says was in the room when she alleges Kavanaugh assaulted her, Leyland Kaiser, a high school friend of Ford's, who is said to have attended that specific party, P.J. Smith, who Ford also says was at the party, and Deborah Ramirez, who accused Kavanaugh of exposing himself during a separate incident when the two were students at Yale. Kavanaugh has denied all of these allegations, and we know the FBI has spoken to Ramirez on Sunday. And NBC News has learned of one of Kavanaugh's former Yale classmates, Chad Ludington. He also plans to speak with the FBI. He says Brett drank heavily in college, became belligerent and aggressive. On Saturday, the president said the FBI, they could talk to anyone they want.
They have free reign. They're going to do whatever they have to do, whatever it is they do. They'll be doing things that we never even thought of. And hopefully at the conclusion, everything will be fine.
What does that even mean? Things we haven't even thought of. But multiple sources say that is not correct. The president not telling the truth. NBC News was first to report that Kavanaugh's third accuser, Julie Swetnick, not on the list. And they say that the FBI has not received authorization to speak to college classmates who have specifically contradicted Kavanaugh's account of how much he drank or how high school classmates could explain references in Kavanaugh's yearbook. On Sunday, White House aides insisted that the administration is not micromanaging the process.
The president very much respects the independence of the FBI and feels, as he said last night, that they should be looking at anything that they think is credible within this limited scope. Now,
what does that mean, the limited scope?
Well, that's up to the FBI.
The White House counsel has allowed the Senate to dictate what these terms look like and what the scope of the investigation is. Again, the White House isn't intervening. We're not micromanaging this process. This is something, it's a Senate process. It has been from the beginning, and we're letting the Senate continue to dictate what the terms look like.
Remember, the FBI is only conducting this investigation because the White House asked them to, and providing guidance in situations like this is standard operating procedure. New York Times says, quote, it is not unusual for the White House to specify the scope of a request for additional background information on a nominee. No evidence has emerged that the White House has forbidden any investigative steps. And President Trump has said he wants agents to interview whoever they deem appropriate at their discretion. But it appears that if agents want to go beyond the original list of witnesses, the FBI can only do so if the White House counsel agrees. Democrats say the administration is unfairly influencing this investigation.
They cannot say, oh, hey, only interview the people in their neighborhood on one side of the street, or only interview people from a certain period of their life. You let the men and women of the FBI, the professionals, do their jobs.
The president responded in a tweet saying, quote, wow, just starting to hear the Democrats who are only thinking obstruct and delay are starting to put out the word that the time and scope the FBI are looking into Judge Kavanaugh and witnesses is not enough. Hello, for them, it will never be enough. Stay tuned and watch. So all of this leaves the president, the judge, the Republicans, and the country in a very difficult spot. There's no guarantee that this 1 week investigation is going to provide any clear answers as to the allegations against Judge Kavanaugh. Republican Jeff Flake, who started this whole thing on Friday, was asked about that very thing on 60 Minutes.
What are the chances that we are going to be in exactly this same place a week from now?
there's a chance, and we knew that, and some of our colleagues said that. Yeah. We'll be back here 1 week from now. It'll be worse. There'll be other outrageous allegations that come forward. The FBI will talk to people that won't want to talk anymore. We won't be any better off. There is a chance that will happen. I do think that we can make progress.
He may be right. We'll soon find out.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.